And the whistleblowing, whistleblowing. The the there's the whistleblower in a corporation. Okay, but so uh, you discover that your firm is paying bribes to government officials to win contracts, and as a responsible member of society, you made up your mind to stop this by disclosing this information to a journalist. Okay, this is a whistleblowing situation. So, but uh, if you hear this kind of situation, I'd like to know what's your response. Okay, some of you may be thinking this is a kind of uh, breach of confidence or loyalty to the company. Okay, so in many cases, this is not considered to be very good. This, though this may improve the social uh, uh, the social standard. Okay, so there are some basic elements in definition of whistleblowing. Okay, if something like this to be proper whistleblowing, uh, first it is needed the insider status. That means whistleblowers are currently firm insiders. You cannot blow the whistle on a firm after you have left it. Okay, so you have worked for a company and you have some dissatisfaction with the company and you quit the job. And if you give all the information you know to the society, that does not constitute as a good whistleblowing. Okay, so you should be insider, non-public information. Okay, everybody, if the information is known to everybody, that is not the whistleblowing. Okay, illegal or immoral activity. Okay, avoidance of the usual chain of command in the firm. First, you should try to convey your message through the usual chain of command in the firm. So you have to report the fact to your boss. Okay, first. Okay, without such a process, that is not the proper whistleblowing, or that is not the whistleblowing. In intention to solve the problem. If you just want to hurt the corporation, that is not considered to be a proper whistleblowing. Okay, so there are five basic elements if of whistleblowing constitutes. Okay, rightly. An employee is required to blow the whistle on her firm when she believes that it is engaged in seriously wrongful behavior and her work for the firm will contribute to the wrong if she does not publicly reveal what she knows. This is the summary, okay, of the whistleblowing. So, uh, but there are many ethical issues in whistleblowing. Okay, it's is justified or permissible or required. So there are many issues, ethical issues. So, for example, loyalty. There is a loyalty to an individual may require that we give preference to her interest to an extent. Versus, we should avoid complicity in immoral behavior and should also make an effort to prevent harm and wrongdoing. So there is a negative side of whistleblowing. So here's the loyalty issues. Employees have a pro tanto duty of loyalty to their firms. Okay, as an employee, they are supposed to be loyal to their firm. But there's also positive side of whistleblowing. There's a transactional view. The relationship between the firm and the employee is purely transactional, an exchange of money for labor. So there is no such thing as loyalty to the firm. Okay? It is permissible for an employee to blow the whistle when he is doing so will prevent harm to society. The duty to prevent harm has more weight than the duty of loyalty. Okay? So this is the positive side of whistleblowing, but in our mind there is a negative side of whistleblowing. So we think that this is a kind of uh, breach of loyalty to our firms. Okay, I myself had no clear-cut answer. Okay, for uh, for the answer of these two questions. So, but we have to keep this in mind that there is a huge personal cost of whistleblowing. Okay, to determine whether whistleblowing is not simply permissible but required, we must take into account the likely success of the whistleblowing. Okay, if the when the whistleblowing was not successful, or the whistleblower is successful, there are some side effects, serious side effects, and its effect on the whistleblower himself. Humans are tribal creatures. Okay, we are born to be a tribal creature, and whistleblowers are often treated badly by their colleagues. So if whistleblowing is unlikely to succeed, then it did not be attempted. Okay, this is the textbook conclusion. The lack of a moral requirement to blow the whistle in these cases can be seen as a specific instance of the rule that individuals need not make huge personal sacrifice to promote others' interests, even when those interests are important. So, in this regard, uh, I myself have no clear-cut solution, okay, for the whistleblower, okay. So in our textbook, chapter 7 is given to the whistleblowing. Hmm? So uh, in our textbook, is whistleblower is defined as employee who discovers corporate misconduct and chooses to bring it to the attention of others. So there are internal whistleblowing and external whistleblowing. So internal whistleblowing means employee discovering corporate misconduct and bring it to the attention of his or her supervisor, who then follows established procedures to address the misconduct within the organization. But external whistleblowing is happening when an employee discovers corporate misconduct and chooses to bring it to the attention of law enforcement agencies and or the media. Okay, so and here the problem becomes very serious. Okay, about the whistleblowing, there are many ethical issues. I have said when the company, through a product or decision, will cause considerable harm to the public or break existing laws, employees must have valid reason to believe that revealing the wrongdoing to the public will result in the changes necessary to remedy the situation. So it's a very restrictive. Okay, in just in this kind of situation, it is available. Okay, it is allowed. Okay, so when the employee identifies a serious threat or harm, threat or harm. Okay, employees must have documented evidence that his or her view of the situation is accurate. The firm's practice, the product or policy threatens the public or product user. So when the employee's immediate supervisor does not act, the employee should exhaust the internal procedures and chain of command to the board of directors. Okay, so uh, they need some kind of prior process, okay, before make it public. Motivation is the opportunity for financial gain or media attention. When you reveal the company's secrets, okay, outside for some kind of financial gain or media attention, that is not to considered to be proper uh, whistleblowing. Okay, so there is ethics for the whistleblowing. Ethics of whistleblowing. In contrast to whistleblowers being brave and praiseworthy, they are considered to be motivated by money or personal egos, have breached the trust and loyalty they owe to their employers. So here comes the serious side effects of the whistleblowing. Okay, so before they bring the matter into the eyes of the public, they should address the needs of whistleblowing. Okay, so there are many considerations. Okay, and for the to protect the whistleblowers, there are many legal legal preparation. Okay, like a Protection Act, Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Okay, Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Protection Act. Okay, so these are the kinds of regulations that protect the whistleblower, and we should emphasize that the whistleblowing must be the last resort. So there should be no consideration for money or personal egos, or uh, they, there should be some kind of trust and loyalty, okay, to the employees, to the other, to their employers, okay. And here is a very interesting case about a whistleblower who uh, was making some issues out of Hyundai safety, okay. And Kim Kwang-ho, he flew to Washington, okay, and give uh, adverse information of the Hyundai Motor Company. Okay, so here's the very interesting case. Okay, and please read this case, and let's talk about whether this is right kind of whistleblowing. Okay, and so here's homework. Okay,